Now we're continuing from the Sefer HaMitzvos, the Rambam. Let's do another mitzvah. We were talking about that it's forbidden to make a copy of the oil that was used to we were saying that it's usher, it's a mitzvah slosasei, which to make a copy of the oil that was used during the times of the Beis HaMikdash, that to use it for putting on oneself, like a salve or things like that. So we shouldn't do that, and also we shouldn't use. Now we're going to be talking about that it's one shouldn't make the ketoris and use it to smell, for scent. And let's continue. Let's take a look at what it says in the Rambam. Okay. One moment. Here we go. Okay. Ha-mitzvah ha-pei gimel, the 83rd mitzvah. Here we are. Ha-azara shehuzharnu mila'asos shemen keshemen ha-mishcha. It's the hazara means the warning, meaning a negative commandment, that we are not supposed to make shemen, oil, shemen hamishcha, like the oil that's in that we use to anoint the kalim in the Beis HaMikdash, or the Beis HaMikdash, or the Kohanim Gadolim, or also the kings of the Malchus, Beis David, Vihu Amru Yisela, and it says in the Torah, Uvemaskunto lo sasu kamahu, and in its like it's that same formula, or the same way of the same ingredients, lo sasu kamahu. We should not do like it. We shouldn't make it for our own personal reasons. This is only for the Mikdash and for the Beis HaMikdash. Sham Lamed Beis. It says over there, Lamed Beis, in the 32, the 32nd pasuk. So okay. Over al if one transgresses on this negative commandment, imhu mazid, if it is on purpose, if he does it with his mind that he wanted to do this, chayav kares. So then he is chayav kares. Kares is like excommunication. Chayav kares. So kemo sheba, because of, like it says in the Torah, Oh, let's make it a little bit clearer. Oh, ish asher yirkach kamohu. Ish, the man that will make the same combination of ingredients to make the same shemen hamishcha. V'chulam. Sham lamed gimel. So in other words, somebody that does that, chayav kares. So okay, v'im hu shogeg, and if it is, let's get it a little bit clearer. V'im hu shogeg, and if it is by accident. One moment. V'imhu shogeg, and if it is shogeg by accident, chayav chatos kavua. So one is liable to give a chatos, a sacrifice that's set for this purpose. Kvarnis baro dini mitzvazu beperik aleph mikritzos, and we have been made clear the dinim, the laws of this mitzvah in Perik Aleph, the first Perik of krisos. A mitzvah here. There's a new. This is talking about. Oh yeah, this is all right. Let's say it. A mitzvah pei dalid, the 84th mitzvah. Ha'azara shehu zaharnu milim shoach b'shem and hamishcha she'osa Moshe zulas kohanim gedolim u'melachim bilvad. The commandment, the warning, which means it's a negative commandment that we can't do this, that we are warned against anointing with this shemen hamishcha, the oil of anointing that Moshe Rabbeinu made, that also Moshe sulas kohanim gedolim. It could be anyone besides the Kohan Gadol, the high priest, the Kohan Gadol, u'malachim bilvad, and kings alone, they can be anointed with the shemen hamishcha that Moshe Rabbeinu had made. V'hu amro Yisrael, and it says in the Torah, al basar adam lo yisoch, al basar adam lo yisoch, on the flesh of man it should not be smeared, it should not be put. It should not be put on anybody's flesh, except for to anoint the Kohan Gadol and also melachim, the meaning the new kings in Yisrael. Lo Yisach, Sham Lamed Beis. Uvaror, and it's clear, Shahanimshach, Bo b'mezid chayav kares. And it's clear that somebody that uses this b'mezid on purpose, that he wanted to do this thing, chayav kares. So he's chayav kares. He's chayav kares. In other words, it was not a mistake. He did it on purpose, that he wanted to do this. Omar, it says in the Torah, Va'asher yitain mimenu al zor v'nichras. And if he puts this on somebody that is a stranger, in other words, a stranger meaning he's not a Kohen Gadol, and this is for a very specific person, Va'asher yitain mimenu al zor, somebody that puts it on somebody that is not a Kohen Gadol or is not a melech, a king that is supposed to be anointed, v'nichras, it should be cut off, v'nichras. So that's kares. Sham. V'imhu shogeg, if it is by a mistake, if let's say he didn't know that this was the shemen hamishcha, the oil of the shemen hamishcha, so that he thought this was any oil, or he didn't know the din, perhaps. He didn't know that you're not allowed to use the shemen hamishcha, and he saw the oil, and he thought maybe he can use it, and he didn't know the din. He didn't know that one must not use this. He didn't know, so that's called a shogeg, somebody that is doing it by accident. So that's a different din. So if by accident, chayav chatos kavua. So then he is chayav, he's liable to a chatos, to give a sacrifice, kavua. It's like a set sacrifice for doing something b'shogeg by accident. Kvarnis baro gam dini mitzvah zu, and it's we have been enlightened. We've been it's been clarified to us the dinim mitzvah zu b'reish kreitos, in the beginning of kreitos. Hey, in other words, one looks at the fifth daf, the fifth page of the Gemara Kreisos. So it talks about the dinim of these dinim. Let's take another look. Let's say Shir Kufnan Aleph. So mitzvahs losa say pei hey, pei beis. The mitzvahs losa say, that's pei hey. That's the 85 and 82. A mitzvah pei hey. The 85th mitzvah has ho azahara shehuzarnu mila asos mugmar v'samim shel oshon. The negative commandment that we were warned against making a copy of the besomim that one makes smoke from. In other words, the certain besomim, that there is spices that one smells, that smells very good, which is used in the Mishkan. This is used in the Mishkan or the Beis HaMikdash. Bimaskones, kedugma sakatoris. Bimaskones means in the same exact ratios of all of the ingredients. Kedugma sakatoris, like the ketoris is the ketoris. That's the ketoris means one puts this on the fire, and then it gives off a very wonderful smell. So this is supposed to be used only in the Beis HaMikdash. So one can't make if one knows the ratio of how to do it. This particular besomim, this particular spice that is used in the Beis HaMikdash, one can't make your own and to say, oh, I love this smell. So it's a mitzvah. Losa say one cannot do this. Kalomar meaning sheyihu oson shimamone ta'aruvto, that one would use those particular samamone, those particular ingredients and the spices, ta'aruvto, and in the same mixture. Uviyachas oson hamizdos, and then to do it in the same ratios and everything, to try to copy it. V'yiskavein lehiskamer, and you want with the intention of lehiskamer lehispasem. One would want to make yourself like a nice smell with this lehispasem. Besomim means lehispasem, to make a nice scent, a nice smell. In other words, one can't use this particular combination and everything that was in the Beis HaMikdash and try to make some kind of a cologne or something to make oneself smell nice. One is not allowed to do this. V'hu amru Yisela, and it says in the Torah, uvemaskunto lo sa'asu lochem, and in this, all of these